I just got done taking a shower and I just had absolute inspiration that we haven't talked about tech choices or side deck options this format. So this video is going to be about top tech choices that I've kind of seen from this format that are worth talking about. And if we get some likes on this video, on Wednesday, we will do the top side deck choices. I know we're nearing the end of the road with this format, but, you know, that doesn't mean that there's still not plenty of stuff to talk about. So, let's dig on into this bad boy, shall we? Alright, innovations, tech choices. It's all kind of the same thing. We're going to talk about Pot of Desires to kind of start things off here. So coming out of the YCS in Hotlanta this past weekend, we saw that Jeff and Bowden took a spin back on Sky Strikers, and we reverse innovated the deck, dropping Desires back into the deck. I think a lot of people are probably looking at this and going, why would you play Pot of Desires and Sky Striker? It's bad. Well, last format we saw this kind of come up a little bit on a regional level. I think we saw it once or twice at a YCS level, but those two resources that you get for the neg 10, yeah, it's a little bit harsh. I mean, just to get a +1 internally, but if you use it as a combo extender, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of people really underestimate the power that Desires gives to Striker. Not only do you shave off 10 cards from your deck, alright, so if you searched out everything you needed and you deck thin 10, cool. It's 10 worthless cards you don't have to worry about. If you're micromanaging your deck while playing it, which I think a very good Sky Striker player, literally all points in time, has an idea of what he can draw and things like that. The deck's compression is insane for that, but I almost think at times that Desires can be this powerhouse resource game that just actually makes a Sky Striker player's day all the better. Now, with that being said, it's a coin toss. Desires isn't going to be for everybody, and I do know that, yes, we've seen this before, but, you know, innovation comes and goes. We see these things come and go in droves, and I do think that Desires, I mean, granted, in the current iteration of the deck, might not be something that everybody wants, but like I said, but we have Desires seeing play again in Sky Strikers, which actually means, hey, you know what? We did it. So, I think that's that. On the same topic of Jeff and Bowden's list, we actually saw Lost Wind make an appearance in Sky Striker. I think this was the first real opportunity that I've got the chance to see Lost Wind seeing play in something that wasn't Lightsworn, or something that wasn't Paleo. And I was taken aback for a second when I was looking at Jeff and Bowden's list, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, why are we playing Lost Wind? Well, Lost Wind getting 2 tries, the first being able to reset itself after it's already done its thing, and the first actual iteration of it, seems really good. And it's almost like a better Fiendish Chain at this point in the format. Now, granted, you wouldn't think that it would be better than Impermanence, but, you know, when you're playing things like Desires and you're deck thinning from the deck, I mean, multi-value cards are really good, and that's honestly something that you get from Lost Wind that I almost think a lot of people kind of forgot about. Like, that recursion actually makes a difference. Strange place, I know, in life, but I don't know. I found this to be really cool, that we've pulled Lost Wind kind of out of the ass of nowhere. We're putting it back into the deck. I mean, this is main deck, by the way. This is no side deck shit. Like, we are strictly on this kick at the moment for this. So I think this was pretty innovative for the most part. I believe they played 2 copies in the main, which doesn't take anything away or conflict with anything really. Lost Wind in Sky Striker, back with Desires again. I didn't actually think we'd be seeing that anytime soon, but fuck it, what do I know? So, just think about that for a moment. 2 recursions of Lost Wind, being able to use it once and twice on the next turn. Pretty good. Now, next up, we're going to talk about the 4-card Orcas engine. And it is literally just 2 of the Nightmare, I think it's 1 Symbol, 1 of the regular guy. And you're probably like, really, we're going to talk about Orcas in this capacity. So if you haven't kind of noticed, I almost feel at times when you look at some of these TCG to deck lists, we've kind of developed the concept of good shit deck that the OCG had going for a little while. You'll see the Danger Engine being splash index. You'll see a 4-card Orcas list. Of course, you'll see Phantasmes and Hand Traps, and then you'll typically see As a Thought and Company in the same deck. And then kind of looking at some other things, not so much in the top, but like more of what you'll see on Dueling Book and things like that. I see more of that 4-card Orcas engine than you would actually think you would see. Now, I'm considering this to be innovative because you're splashing a mini engine inside of a deck that grants you this absurd ability to pull Boral Sword out of your asshole and win a game. Now, being able to have said 4 cards work in your deck might not always work. All right, let's be honest here. Sometimes you can hurt yourself by testing out these really weird ideas, and I mean, it can be hit or miss or things like that. But if your deck can support an Orcas engine and you are able to splash 4 cards, then congratulations, you have a bullshit engine that you can just... The engine is so great. Like, I didn't actually think... The fact that Mermaid, literally any 2 monsters, makes Phoenix into Mermaid that gets you your engine, like, it's great. And as long as you're already playing these cards in your extra deck, like, this is the era of broken extra deck monsters, the combo extend into other monsters, extenders everywhere. Like, I'm not shocked that the Orcas engine is as good as it actually is right now. This is all pre-Dingrisu too, so keep that in mind. Now, I also want to talk about There Can Only Be One. I've seen this card take a back seat for a little while at the beginning of the format. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if there just didn't seem to be a place for it, but now that Salad is running amiss everywhere, we've kind of seen There Can Only Be One resurge again. And once again, I mean, like, True Draco and Subterror are the ones that are playing this. You know, Sky Striker was playing this for a little while, and then they kind of discovered that Summon Limit was a very good card. But when you get the chance to kind of look at how There Can Only Be One interacts, like, you literally flip it against Salad, you're probably going to win the matchup, unless your opponent has, you know, some sort of destruction, you know, Twin Twister, one of the Salad Boys that destroys back row, or, you know, the Icarus attack for things like that. Yeah, you have options ahead of you to destroy it if you're a Salad player, but dynamically, this card makes unfavorable matchups for decks like True Draco and, of course, you know, Subterror a little bit more fair in their way. I know a lot of people hate Floodgates. I'll be honest with you guys. I flip a coin. Some days I'm for them, some days I'm not. But it really makes these Tier 2 decks have a chance against these explosive Tier 1 decks. And, you know, I know a lot of people would rather have their way, not have this exist in the format, but, you know, it is that. But this card, seeing a little bit more play now on regional level, definitely showing that on a regional level, if you just picked up 3 Salad structure decks, slap the deck together with a couple of staples, and you don't know what you're really playing against, like, you can be the master of playing Salad, but if your opponent flips There Can Only Be One and you don't know how to play against it, you know, you're going to have an issue. But it's kind of what we have seen from this format on a regional level. So yeah, There Can Only Be One, definitely being one of the better tech choices available to the player base. And the last one I want to talk about here is Didi Crow. I actually thought that I was going to toss this into the side deck video, but Crow has made his way out of the side deck. I mean, he's still in the side deck for some builds, but he has made his way to the main deck right now. And I mean, Didi Crow, you know something's wrong in the format when Didi Crow becomes this God save card. I mean, cheers to Didi Crow. The fact that he's not once per turn, I've kind of noticed Effect Veiler and Didi Crow are a lot better because they don't have these once per turn restrictions on them. But being able to Didi Crow whatever target your opponent drops in the graveyard for, you know, Salamangreat. You can take away your opponent's Spinny, take away your opponent's... Basically, the whole life expectancy of Crow, his whole life job, is to take away any sort of resource from the Salad player that is going to be an issue. Now, Crow also doubles up for being able to take away Array. We don't do certain things in the Thunder matchup with Didi Crow, I'll be honest with you. But Robbie, what do you mean? Just trust me, don't target the Thunder monsters, alright? You don't want those things triggering, alright? Like, I seen that happen at a regional. Like, don't do it, alright? Can't believe people don't realize what cards do. But Didi Crow has made his way to the main deck. Actually, has been pretty much a powerhouse this format. Like, literally when I first saw Didi Crow show up at the beginning of the format, I was like, you know, it's cool, he'll be gone. But he's stayed and he has done his job across everything. So these are probably the 5 most interesting things that I've seen as of late in this format. You know, granted, some of them most of you guys know, some of them you probably don't know, but this is tech at its best. These are the choices that players make in their decks that really get the chance to shine, and honestly, this is how you win an event. Little things like this. Guys, please comment down below. Remember to like this video for the side deck discussion on Wednesday, and, well guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.